I'm like crouch here, the umbrella in the rain. I'm doing it for special effect. What kind of effect? But I'm also outside because inside the kids are doing practice and doing work. I don't want to disturb them with this. I don't mind the rain. I'm just walking on with my little shoes. See the rain is on the camera? Yeah, let's see if it comes across like that. But I want to say something. This is old military might. Military might. You notice a lot of these skirmishes are here happen in society of different things happening, of conflict between police and civilian, between people fighting for different freedom, different laws, different stuff, different things. We're all saying, please, give us our freedom, give us our liberties, give us stuff, and we should have that. We need this freedom of speech. We need to have a good free platform to speak our minds and do what we need to do, and so we need to say. I don't advocate violence, offensive violence, but defensive violence, yes, if necessary. But that's a defensive war, has to be sanctioned in a godly manner. But not to go harm anybody with that God didn't say to do. Okay? But here's the thing. I'm looking at the cleaner. It's like wrapped up in a knot. I gotta untangle that stuff soon. But here's the thing, right? Military, our brothers and sisters in uniform, please, including law enforcement, police, around in different people. If there's a conflict that arises whereby people, you see unrest and disruptions in society and the norm, please, we have to be careful not to go and harm our own civilian brothers and sisters, because you guys have a separate, from what I understand, a separate law system unto yourselves in the military. And there are a lot of things happen there, both good and bad, that people don't really speak about. I don't make much military videos because I don't even know what goes on inside there. But I've seen the weaponry, I've seen the stuff, and I've seen a lot of videos and documentaries about things that happen there. And there are good people in there, a lot of good people in there, a lot of bad too. Sometimes some agencies, some militaries want the bad people because they say they can really condition them bad. They're already bad. There's not much in flipping to become more wicked. But there are also good people there who are fighting for the right means and right cause, defending this country, defending our freedoms and liberties abroad and at home that we don't see. When there's a disaster, National Guard comes out. When does something happen, they're there to protect us and giving us stuff. But I've also seen things and hear things whereby people have actually been used in the military and other places to sit there and do wrong to other people, or to sit there and mislead other people. And I've also seen videos on TikTok videos of people saying, military personnel saying, if there's a conflict happening and you don't want to listen, we don't mind busting a cap in you. We don't mind shooting and killing you. We don't mind arresting you and detaining you. And you've seen around the world, look at Tiananmen Square, look at stuff happening in other areas whereby, huh? Yeah, it is a little bit wet. Please go do your work. Let me show you this. Let me show you again. Google boy always want to go sit up the video, right? But it's okay. It's either what I was saying. Yeah, and I'm like, it's so sad to see that, where you see the military has been used to infringe on people's freedom and to keep the people locked down and to arrest them and to detain them. And it's like, that's so unfair. The military could be used for so much better means. And it's like, these are just human beings who wear the uniform too. But the thing is, they've been kind of conditioned as well. And we have been kind of conditioned in many ways too. So we're saying, if there's a conflict or something happens, please, military, our brothers and sisters, we're on your side. We want freedom too. If you're fighting and protecting freedom abroad and over there, that's what you're sort of ought to do. Can you continue to do that even when there's a disruption or disagreement between the government and civilians? Can you take the side of the good side and not get involved or just say, it's my job, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to? Because think about it. If someone says, I'm just doing my job. If you remember the Holocaust, Nuremberg, and those things, I'm just doing my job. There are many people saying right now, I'm just doing my job. And thinking, well, I'm essential, so nobody else is. Is that really the right thing to do? Is it just our job? Is job more important than life? Are we willing to sell out our birthright just for that? Are we willing to sell ourselves out just for that? For what? A check? But if you don't do your job, you might get court-martialed, or what's that one thing? Court-martial or military. And that's so unfair. Just because you don't want to follow order, they want to court-martial you, or they want to take you and give you a dishonorable. You see, as I'm saying, be careful. Those kind of things. And again, maybe I'm speaking of things I don't know. If you guys know better, feel free to join in and say. I like to see our brothers and sisters, fighting for freedoms everywhere in this world against all bad things. But sometimes you got to be careful who the ones pointing the fingers out telling us it's bad. It's bad. Because you remember WMDs and 9/11 and all this stuff? They told us some people were doing some things, and it's like, was it really them? Or was it in-house or outside? Was it fear from within or fear from without? Was it really a inside job or outside job? Or was it a combination? Many times we can't even trust our own eyes. We can't trust our own ears. We can't trust the media sometimes and everything we hear. So you have to take it in a way that says, wow, let me not be conditioned. Let me not get so deep into it that I lose my side of stuff. That's why I have to be careful. Doctors as well, and people in uniform, in scrubs, people wearing scrubs and hospitals. Those people who said, I'm just doing my job, be very careful how you use that term. Because at the end of it, God said, I will require every person's soul at your hand. I will require everything that you do at your hand. People say, the rules apply to war, right? I heard about a video of people dancing and twerking over other people's death and graves. The other side, the opposing side is doing that. Are we so desensitized? Are we lost all respect for the dead and for the living? Can you get to the point where our conscience is so sad that we don't even have the compassion to mourn and to feel the loss of every mother's child, every family's loss? When someone dies, it's a mother, brother, father, son. It's another entity, another one of our brothers, sisters fallen. Just because they wear a different uniform don't mean they're the enemy. Just because they're wearing a different clothes don't mean they're the enemy. Just because you're wearing military apparel and we're wearing just regular shirts and t-shirts and pants don't mean we're the enemy. Okay? And police. We love you guys because we're one of you guys. Our family members that are in the police too. You know what I'm saying? We're on your side. We want law and order. We want peace. But some people, and I say we, mean we, the law abiding. But there are some people who are lawless, who don't care anything else. Those guys you should get. Those are the ones you should be getting tracked down. Those are the ones who commit crime and who hate anything good, hate decency, hate morality, hate God. Those are hate God, hate Christianity. Those guys you should get. Not the ones who are trying to abide and protect it. And the court systems. It's almost like a travesty of justice sometimes, but the courts, they're not always making decisions that are in line with God's law. That's very unfortunate because we always thought the courts are the highest laws of the land. So then what laws are they? They have so many laws and clause and subclause and some things in the books. And I'm like, when they make these things, we love to see a good case get tried out. And it's like, how are they trying the cases? On what grounds? On what laws? When they keep saying no one's above the law, what law are they talking about? Is it God's law? God's law is only 10 commandments. So what law? I know there's also Levitical laws, Mosaic laws. What laws are they talking about? What oath are they taking and to whom? When they say so military and all those were in uniform, we got to see what oath did you take, and is it in line with God's law? And when you say, well, if I don't know your God, well, do you know how to be kind? Do you know what love is? Do you know how you like to be treated? Would you like to be treated the way you treat others? Can you treat me the way you want to be treated? So if that's the case, don't try to drop no shrapnel and bombs on my head and blow me up and incinerators. And the weaponry up there is it's so advanced. Rail guns and cluster bombs, all this stuff, the Moab, all these things. I've seen some videos, and I'm like, Lord, that's some serious military work around the world. And then there's nuclear bombs too. Look what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Could it have been ended another way? The Pearl Harbor situation. Some people said they knew the code, some said they didn't. Some said it was made to happen, like the Bay of Pigs and the Cuban Missile Crisis. Some said that things happened because they wanted to happen. I said it before, there's a spiritual war. There are other forces running the world, even utilizing humans to help them. So we have to understand, this war is not against our brother and sister per se, but it's against spiritual forces, wickedness in high places. Let's talk to them and let's deal with them, not with each other. Not in violence and hatred and murder and deceit and treachery to each other. We're to help each other, please, okay? So I'm begging you guys, please. Let's work for peace and God's salvation on earth to save more lives, not to harm each other. Okay? Please. Thank you guys. We love you guys. We pray for your safety. Be safe out there and be cautious. And like the rain coming, it can be looked at as good and bad. It can cool you off on a hot day, or it can be like, stuck in the mud and in the mire. But I think God has a purpose with all of it. Even a bad thing can be turned into something good if you look at it in the right perspective. God bless y'all.